Live from Brooklyn, New York, this is Stay Busy with Armon Sadler.
Well, you know that I'm the guy. I'm out here living life. I'm busy. Stay busy. Stay busy. Stay busy. Making moves and catching flights. So please don't waste my time. I'm busy. Stay busy. Stay busy. Stay busy, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Stay Busy with Armon Sadler, brought to you by the Revolt Podcast Network. This is a podcast where we have responsible discussions on the entertainment business and the entertainment culture. I am, of course, your host, head honcho, vegan chorizo papi, founder of Bald Nigga Ballers, the Bald Nigga Bombshell, Chinedu, the only man to sit in front of Taylor Rooks and not tell a lie, Armon Sadler. Happy to be back with you all. Thank you very much for tapping back in. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to all audio platforms. Leave a like, a comment, a rating, share, do all that you can that is available on all those various apps because it means so much to what we are doing. Also, make sure you follow us at Stay Busy Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you would like some bonus early, exclusive, unfiltered, unhinged, raw content, you can hit the podcast OnlyFans, patreon.com/staybusypod. Last episode, it was so great to have my guy Will back. He's currently out of town at a wedding. Hope he enjoys that. If y'all follow me on social media, you know how much I love weddings. Hashtag wedding drunk, shaded and faded. That's my bag. So I hope Will is doing the legacy of Shaded and Faded Wedding Drunk proud. But I'm here. It is Sunday. I'm dating this, but there's currently a WWE premium live event going on right now. So while I am going to give you a quality pod, this may not be as long as usual, but hey, that works for me. That works for you all. You see, I'm wearing the Someone in Chicago Loves Me shirt. On the back, it says, has this Some Sexy Songs For You logo. Shout out to Amazon Music. Shout out to Drake. Shout out to my homegirl, Auden. Drake did his Amazon warehouse. And so they sent out some merch. So it was this shirt. There was some Air Drake socks. There was some other items in there. He sent me some posters. I haven't even opened the posters yet to see what album they're from. I'm not really a big poster guy, so I might actually do a giveaway for y'all. If y'all would like to earn a free poster, subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/staybusypod, and I will randomize the names and I'll give you a poster. They did not send me the body pillow. I'm glad that they knew that would be, a little weird for me. I'm not using no Drake body pillow. I am a big fan, but there's a certain healthy distance you got to have with your favorites. But good shirt, comfortable, well fitting. I don't usually wear yellow too often, but I'm rocking with it. It's got one of my color I like to wear a lot in red. Actually, gold is one of my favorite colors. Not yellow, but gold is one of them. But yeah, so I dig it. And there are people in Chicago who do love me. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Dwa. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Phil. Shout out to Olo, Chandler, Lamine, all people I know in Chicago. I might have forgotten some. That's why I hate saying names. But hey, shout out to Chicago. I went last year, but I want to go back again and experience it more. But yeah, shout out to Drake and people. As I said, WWE Clash in Paris is going on right now. So far, Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed had a match. Roman won and then got his ass whooped after the match. Like Braun Breaker speared him through the table. Bronson Reed hit him with tsunamis. They put him on a gurney, and then Bronson and Braun took him off the gurney and beat his ass some more. Jey Uso came out, got his ass beat. So that'll be interesting to play into the main event, which is the Fatal 4-Way World Heavyweight Championship match between champion Seth Rollins, CM Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso. Raw GM Adam Pearce kicked Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker out of the arena and said they'd be suspended without pay if they came back. And so that is leading to some thoughts that maybe the Vision will be debuting a new member. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that after I finish up with y'all. Some other sports news, big sports news in the NFL, as we are just days away from the NFL kickoff of the regular season. I'm so fucking excited. But the Dallas Cowboys, smoking on that Dallas Cowboys pack, it is always potent. It never lets me down. You might get some mid from some dealers. You might get some mid from a dispensary, which is very rare. But one pack that will never disappoint you is the Dallas Cowboys. And ironically, they helped another pack in sending Micah Parsons, their elite defender, to the Green Bay Packers. He's been disgruntled for some time, wanted a new contract. Obviously, the Cowboys have been pretty disappointing as a team. And so now he's going to a Packers team, which obviously he helps their defense a lot. They've got a talented quarterback in Jordan Love. Last year was a slightly rough year for him. He was dealing with injury, but they're a really good team. They can really contend in the NFC. And I think adding someone like Micah Parsons, a real game changer, will only help them. So that was big. I'm just thrilled to get my slander off to the Cowboys fans I know, because they give me hell for being a Jets fan. And so, yeah, that just makes me all the more excited for this upcoming NFL regular season. Let's get into some music stuff. So maybe like 2 weeks ago, Jason Martin, who was formerly known as Problem, tweeted, "I don't understand why creatives are having so much trouble accepting AI in music. What the fuck do you think auto-tune is, you nut?" This AI thing in music, man, it's, I am someone who accepts that things are going to change. Evolution is always going to happen. But one change that I will not accept is using AI in music to create music. I grew up on artists, even if they used vocal filters, auto-tune, whatever, they were the ones making the music. And now we have Timbaland, for example. He started an AI label. He signed an AI artist. He's creating an AI genre called pop something. I forget the name. But like, these people are taking it too far. And it's like, for Timbaland, a legendary producer who's contributed so much to the music industry, to now be the one pushing this and telling people, like, yeah, I just don't get it, blah, blah, all that. Swiss Beats defended him. Swiss Beats, I hated his explanation for it too. He was like, I mean, like, we should do this, but before the white people start doing it. It doesn't matter who does it first or who's doing it. Like, this is fucked up. Like, I like my music to feel real, genuine, raw, natural, coming from a human being. And so for Jason Martin, formerly known as Problem, to say that, and then to say, what is autotune? Autotune is literally just altering your voice. Yes, you are using technology to alter your voice, but it's still you. There's a human being singing the stuff that is then altered. AI is putting some shit into all algorithms to create something that sounds like someone else. We've heard it in Playboi Carti's music. We've heard it in Travis Scott's music. We've heard it in The Weeknd's music. We've heard it in Kanye West's music. And they've manipulated it enough to sound like them. And shit, even on Rather Lie, Playboi Carti, The Weeknd, I unfortunately like that song. But like, as I said, when Alex was here, when Need to Know was here, when we first came back in March, like, I can hear when something is meant to sound like someone, but actually isn't someone. And I think people would be like, maybe a little more accepting of this AI movement in music if like the people who support it weren't so pretentious and condescending about it, but also if they just actually gave a good reason for it. Like, there's been no good explanation. It's just been this very like adamant, I'm just doing this shit. Yeah, I don't see the vision, blah, 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 all that. And it's extremely whack. So I'm not a fan of AI. I'm glad to see a lot of like artists I follow, journalists I follow, industry figures I follow, not really supporting it either. I remember when, that Drake Weekend AI song was going around, and like, it was eligible to be nominated for a Grammy. And I'm just like, that is just sets such a bad precedent, because like, music has become so accessible that we already have people who aren't that talented doing it, and more power to them. Like, create what you want to create, but it's like the entry point has become even less like firm. It's easier for a lot of people to get in. So now you got people who can just download some AI software, create a song that sounds super fire, but like, what happens when we see them on stage? What happens if they have to do a live acoustic type thing, and they're just and they can't deliver? It's extremely whack. I'm not a fan of AI, and it's taking over in so many different areas of life. Like, people are using Chat GPT to make their resumes. They're asking Chat GPT questions that they could Google or just like figure out themselves. And I saw some tweet about how someone was like, damn, if I was in college and like I had Chat GPT, like I would have went crazy. Like, I don't want to tell on myself or people, but it's like, when we were finding unconventional methods to succeed in college, like, we still had to grind for it. I'm a kid who grew up on Spark Notes and, all that other shit. And like now, and, like you still had to put some thought into your manipulative methods to get good grades. And so now, yeah, these kids might have it easier, but you can't even fully rely on that software. Like, I don't know, people are becoming way too reliant on AI. It's extremely weird to me. Like, so I've used Chat GPT maybe a few times, and honestly, just to make some pictures. Like, I haven't even used it to, make a resume or a cover letter or anything like that. And I'm sure there are various aspects of my life. I mean, I play video games, so I play against AI, but that's a little different. It's not something I'm using to like improve my life or to seek out a job application. It's literally like, I play an online dynasty in college football. There are so many schools that like you can't fill a league with people, so you play against the AI. But it's just very different. I really want us to like get back to, being intelligent humans who can do things on our own and not rely on technology. And I know I say that as I'm sitting here recording a podcast with a laptop and a cell phone. Like, yes, like technology is kind of necessary in our life at this point, but it's just like it's getting to a point where human beings are like losing their sense of self. And it just made me think of this is not even fully connected, but there was this tweet last night where this guy was on Hinge and he was like, yo, Hinge is so cooked. This girl asked me, well, what my favorite pie was. And mad people quoted it. It was like, damn, she's wrong for taking interest in you. And he was like, well, honestly, I said that I'm a baker in my description. So he was like, oh, so and then someone replied, they're like, oh, so this person just took an interest like in you and what you do, and you have a problem with that. Like, social interactions and humanity, we're so cooked. Like, it's terrifying. Like, I was on Hinge this morning, just swiping through, and like I hate it. I'm still the type of person who likes to meet people in person or even use Twitter DMs and Insta DMs, but like people are just losing sight of like real interactions and their ability to accomplish and do things on their own. And it's really nuts to me. So this push for AI and the pretentiousness and the condescending nature of it all, it's very annoying. It's very sad to see, because music is already in just a really weird space, and now you're just opening the floodgates for people to come in and like, really really ruin it. So I hate that. We didn't record last week, so I got quite a few albums to catch up on. I want to start with Offset's third solo studio album, Kiari. Man, Offset, you nailed it. And I was someone who was a fan of Father of Four. I was someone who was a fan of Set It Off, but I felt like those albums, while they had strong themes and visuals and rollouts and all that, like musically it kind of lacks some direction. I think everything that he faltered to do on those two albums he really nailed with Kiari. And Kiari's still a long album. It's 18 songs, but Enemy's the opener. He's touching on where he's at in his personal life, of course, after divorcing Cardi B, and Pills with NBA YoungBoy, great record. Back in That Mode, Different Species with Gunna, that's their best collab. That's it. That song should be a hit. That's a great record. I run it up aggressively. Bodies, JID, obviously that's the single, amazing record. Love You Down, amazing sample. Offset really thrives at making like records for women. There's so much good stuff here on here. All of My Hoes, Checkmate, Smooth, Backhands for Show, Proud of Myself, Tizo Touchdown. I'll admit I had some of these songs since like February, and so it's good to see the ones I liked make it. I think Proud of Myself with Tizo is fantastic. Never Let Go, John Legend, Tribute to Take Off, that was great to hear. Favorite Girl, Ty Dolla $ign, that's a bit too formulaic. It's still a good record, but it's just like that one could have been kept off, and I probably would have been fine. And then Move On. Like this to me is one of the best rap albums of the year. It's already jumped into my top 5 for my favorite products of the year. And I think, Offset to me was always the best Migo. I've said this before. I thought he had the most, he blended, the musical talent with the star power. Obviously, Cardi B helped elevate his profile a lot, and he helped elevate hers too. And now he's, fully doing this solo artist thing. And just through watching all of his interviews, he really takes the craft extremely serious. And I think his first two albums and the Offset Takeoff album, Only Built for Infinity Links, like you could kind of hear these songs were good, but they kind of feel incomplete without the trio being together. Kiari, he really did a good job of carrying on his own. Again, 18 songs is kind of a lot to get through. Thankfully he did have a good amount of features. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 features on 18 songs. So there is some variation. And again, he made different type of records. There's the super hard trap stuff. There's, more lyrical stuff. There's slower stuff for the women. Like he did a good job varying it up. And I think this is the album that proves he's really capable of carrying on his own in a way that I don't necessarily think Quavo can. I thought Takeoff's solo album was good, but really everything prior to this, I think everyone would have just have rather hear them together. But this album, this is really good stuff. Sales wise, didn't do great. I'm a little surprised at how low they were, 25K. I thought he would at least hit like 60, 70. But it is what it is. But I think like it's going to. I think it's going to age well. And I hate when people say, "Oh, this thing that's been around for two weeks aged well." I'm not saying the album aged well. I think it is going to age well. I think as people get to it more, like I think it's going to have staying power. I think if they put out some more visuals, and yeah, just really push it. Because he's done a pretty good job. Like Set It Off was 2023, so he did a good job taking time between the album. Again, he has something to talk about right now with his personal life and where he's at. So yeah, I think Kiari is really good. I really love it. I've been running it up, and yeah, big salute to Offset. Next album I want to talk about, Mariah the Scientist, Hearts Sold Separately. My God, listen. And I'll cat's out the bag. Whoa, Mariah the Scientist is not the best singer. I think anyone who listens to her will own that. But hey, man, we enjoyed Brent Faiyaz. We enjoyed Trey Songz was a good singer, not an amazing singer. We've enjoyed some singers who were not that great, but still made very good music. People want to get so like, so I don't want to keep saying pretentious, but just so like hypercritical of vocals now. We want to get like, hey man, the best singers don't make the best music sometimes. It's about the production, it's about the feeling, it's about the writing, it's about the vibe. It's about all these different things come together, all these different elements to make a really good record. Folded by Kehlani, for example. And not to say she's not a great singer. Kehlani is a great singer, but there are better vocalists. But the feeling she gives, the stacking, the arrangement of it all makes that record better than what some of the best vocalists are putting out right now. And I think Mariah the Scientist, her writing and her production, 1985 put his fucking foot into that album. My God, it is so good. Like I was at my boy's baby shower last Saturday, and we went out afterwards. I took an edible. I don't really smoke anymore. I think I've told you guys that. But like sometimes I'll dabble. I might take a hit of a J out at a social event. I'll definitely do an edible anytime. So my boy gave me an edible, and that like 2 a.m. Uber ride home is just such a great time to listen to music. And Mariah the Scientist album is 35 minutes and 12 seconds. My Uber ride was 36 minutes. So I was like, okay, this is the perfect time for me to tap into this album. I play it, Sacrifice comes on, I'm sold already. But then you get to United Nations and 1,000 Ways to Die. That transition from UN to 1,000 Ways to Die, amazing. Eternal Flame is a missile. That might be one of her best songs she's ever made. All I Want, In Pursuit, fantastic. Rainy Days, my fucking God, Rainy Days is like, I think, and I've obviously, her and SZA are on two different levels, but I do think Rainy Days, if pushed properly, if it gets to, if it gets to the masses, like Rainy Days could have a Snooze level impact. I'm not saying it's going to achieve what Snooze has achieved. Snooze is record-breaking type shit, but like just kind of that feeling, that like that song that just like unites people. You know, it just like it's like soul food. Like it just the writing, the everything. Mariah, she's bearing her soul. Hope my lover outlives me. Like this is real lover music, and this is what we want. Like her, Summer Walker, SZA, like those type of girls who like people want to reduce them to sad girls, and sure that's fine, but it's like making music that like makes you feel something. And I really felt something. No More Entertainers. Like Mariah's great. You know, I started listening to her in 2021 with Rai World. And this might be better than Rai. I don't even think it's a might. This is better than Rai World. And this also jumped into my top 5 for the year. Just an amazing album. And she was smoking it already with Burning Blue. Then she had Is It a Crime with Kali Uchis. But like 10-song album, 1 feature, carried it by herself. Like big salute. I would love to see her live. And again, I know she's not the best vocalist, but I can just imagine, being in that crowd, maybe off of half a joint, couple Cutwaters, and just like arms around people, just swaying, just singing along to it. And that's what music is about. You envisioning the live experience, you wanting to hear it in a live setting. There's a lot of albums I listen to I don't necessarily care to hear in a live setting, but I want to hear it. So Mariah the Scientist, Heart, Soul Separately, you smoked it. I posted a screenshot on my IG story a couple weeks ago, and this is like half joking but half serious. I said she was a direct descendant of Michael Jackson. They killed the man but not the idea. Mariah the Scientist is here. In June 25th, I think it was 2009, which is my birthday. I'm coming back from the lake on a trip with my ex, and I hear it on the radio that Michael Jackson died, and I was sad. But then God said, "Don't worry. In 12 years, you're going to hear a woman who is going to give you that feeling." And Rainy Days gives me that Michael Jackson feeling. Again, I'm half trolling, but I'm kind of serious too. Like she's really that good. Like, so if you haven't heard Heart, Soul Separately, make sure you tap in, and you can call me ridiculous, but name one genius that ain't crazy. Another album to talk about just came out this past weekend. Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend. This one has been hyped up for quite some time. She dropped Man Child a few months ago. And it's finally here. So 12-song album, 38 minutes. I like it. Again, it's only been a couple days. I don't like it as much as Short and Sweet, which was my entry point to Sabrina Carpenter. And I think a lot of people just started listening to her with Short and Sweet last year. And I think that they expected a Short and Sweet 2. Which is why I'm seeing a lot of strong dislike from this. Like some of her stans hate this album, and I'm a bit more pragmatic about it. Like I like it. The first 3 songs, Man Child, Tears, My Man on Willpower. Tears is really good, but I wasn't necessarily moved. And then you get to Sugar Talking. That is like a cousin to Don't Smile and Bedchem. It's obviously not exactly the same, but it's like a cousin to them. That's a fantastic record, written well, just smooth, just great production, great arrangement, great layering, all that. We Almost Broke Up Again last night. Awesome. Nobody's Son is really good. Never Getting Laid. When Did You Get Hot? And then later on you got Don't Worry, I'll Make You Worry. House Tour, I think is gonna be the one. It's a really good album. It's a lot hornier than Short and Sweet. She's fully leaning into it, and she said in an interview with I think it was Good Morning America that she don't give a fuck. There's a lot of people angry about her being who she is, and I talked about this like a month or so ago. Like that's what she's doing, and whether you want to call it shock value, whether you want to call it whatever you want to call it, like it really doesn't matter, because it gets the people talking. The attention is on her. She's obviously an attractive girl, so like all attractive women singers kind of use their beauty to push themselves forward, and it's working for her. So like I can't really be mad at it. But yeah, like from her interviews going into the album, and I think just myself as a listener and a critic, I wasn't expecting Short and Sweet here. And I'm seeing people say, where's the Bedchem? Where's the Don't Smile? She doesn't have to make another Bedchem or Don't Smile, when Bedchem and Don't Smile already exist. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like Jay-Z said, you want my old music, but buy my old albums, or well, whatever the exact line is. Like, those exist. You can go back and listen to those. But if you're looking for something old in a new album, and yeah, it's only been a year, and those are her more popular songs, so she's gonna make songs of that ilk. But trying to meet the standard of something generational that you made, it's a losing battle. Like, people get so married to specific songs and specific things that, like, they only look for that thing. And I think especially her as a very versatile pop artist, she's giving you country type stuff. She's giving you alternative rock type stuff. She's giving you ballads. She's giving you upbeat pop bubblegum jams. Like, she can get into so many different bags. This is a really instrumental album. She locked in with Jack Antonoff and, everyone else who she works closely with. And yeah, I was just expecting something different going into this. And so my critique isn't that it wasn't short and sweet. My critique is just like, the music is good. I'm connected to certain things. This album maybe doesn't have the amount of hits that Short and Sweet had in, Espresso, Please, 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 Taste, Bedchem, even Juno. Like, she's got missiles on that album. But that's like Future, for example. Like, if you hold him to Dirty Sprite 2 for the rest of his career, you'll never be satisfied. Just take the music for what it is. I don't think it's bad music. I'm really interested. I would like to see deeper critiques than just, oh, there's no Bedchem, there's no Don't Smile, this isn't Short and Sweet. Like, that's, don't limit these artists. Don't hold them to where they're at. Now, and that doesn't mean you can't dislike something new and something different. Like, if you just don't like it, that's fine. But the reasoning behind it, if it's because it's not what she put out a year ago, that's when it gets whacked to me. And that's when I kind of, disregard it. So yeah, it's been interesting seeing, pop Twitter and, Sabrina Carpenter Twitter not like this album. Even one like really big Sabrina Carpenter fan I saw, like, she's been kind of like outlining her whole experience with the album on Twitter. And initially she didn't like it, and now she's like tweeting about more songs. And that's just part of it too, man. Like, I've talked about it on the pod before, the mere exposure effect. Like, you expose yourself to something more, you kind of hear different elements of it, and you kind of grow to like it. Like, with me, with Some Sexy Songs for You, for example, I didn't like Mothballs at first. I didn't really like On My Way at first. Those are two of my favorite songs in the album. Like, you just listen, your mind changes. You hear something in a different environment. You hear something when you're feeling a different feeling, and it just changes for you. So yeah, I think people, again, you can dislike it. I surely have disliked things early on and not really given them a chance to revisit. Maybe I'll go back in a few months and change my mind on something. But I think people need to really, it's all about managing your own expectations. And that's a life lesson. Like, manage your expectations. Like, don't go in, and it's hard to not go in expecting something amazing because of what she's done already. But you also, like, don't go in expecting something trash. Like, just go in with a clean slate and just, like, try to enjoy what you enjoy, dislike what you dislike, and analyze it for what it is rather than comparing it, or rather than for what it's not, So yeah, that's my thoughts on Man's Best Friend. Great album. I will admit that she wrote the entire album about me. Where, she and I are going through some things, but we're gonna be okay. We're attending couples therapy. We're in church. We're praying, and peace and tranquility will find us. So I'm looking forward to that. But great album, baby. I'm proud of you always. Man, my guys, we might be back. Division dropped 2 singles this past weekend. Excited and Love on You. Excited. That's like classic Division. That's giving me like September 5th, morning after type vibes. Just super slow, super sensual, super moody. Like, that's something that you would put on a sex playlist. Like, that's just a vibe setter, a vibe creator. You dim the lights, you light some candles, and you just You know what I'm saying? You know, but "Love on You" is the one I really like. That's like a and I'm not saying it's at the level of Sexual Healing, but it's like a 2025 version of it, just the production of it. It's a little more upbeat, something you could play outside, something you could, you know, groove to, a little two-step, catch a little slow wind to it. And man, I think you know, if we want to judge this signing to So Def, so far, you know, JD, Brian Michael Cox, all of them, they are 2 for 2 so far with this product that they put out. This was a really good record. Marsha Ambrosius wrote on Excited. Natalie Stewart wrote on it. I believe there's a sample there. I couldn't find it on Genius, so I need to look it up more, look a little deeper. But I believe there's a sample on one of those songs. But this is good. This is really good to hear them, and it's, you know, it's bringing like a vintage sound to a modern time, and people aren't really making like songs like "Love on You," like R&B that's more up tempo, that's more, you know, got like a bop to it. People aren't doing that as much, and so I really enjoyed these. You know, we hadn't heard from them since working on My Karma, which was pretty controversial. I think that was their least well received album that they put out. Obviously, with kicking the rollout off with If I Get Caught, which again I still don't think was a bad song, but just conceptually, you're not gonna sell people on If I Get Caught Cheating. That don't mean I don't love you, and you wouldn't want me if I didn't have hoes and all this stuff. Like it's catering. It's just be toxic in a natural, genuine way. Don't force the toxicity. And they were so defensive of the critiques of it and saying it's a full story. Like, you got to hear the story. It's like, cool, but don't introduce me to the story that way. Like when movie trailers come out, they put certain things in there to, you know, pique your interest and kind of get you into it. And if there's a part of a trailer that's bad, people are going to be critical of it. You got to put the right stuff out there to get the story going. And I thought that they kind of repaired the rollout with What's Up with Jagged Edge after that, a couple of the other singles. But yeah, man, like I personally was like, if this is a sign of the fall off, then man, I had a great time with Division from 2016 to 2021. But these songs signal that they might be back. I listened to Joe Budden podcast review the songs, and Daniel from Division, one half of the duo, because they are a duo, said that they're aiming to have their album out by the end of this year. I would love that. They are typically, well, not typically, but they've released in the fall a lot. Morning After was a fall album. Working on My Karma was a fall album. The collab project with Ty Dolla $ign was like a summer, I want to say maybe July or August album. And then September 5th, I want to say that was like April 2016. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. Also, I forgot. I remember the If I Get Caught song had people saying they were catering to incels, and I really think this music community has words mean things. And I'm gonna say that forever. Words mean things, and I think this music community has taken the word incel and used it to really mean like toxic men who are, you know, disrespectful towards women. And hey, those things can go hand in hand, but like incel is a shorthand way of saying involuntarily celibate, and that means like you're not choosing to not get no coochie, you just can't get coochie. And, you know, they use that a lot when like talking about Drake's music, For All the Dogs, Her Loss. They try to say Future caters to incels and all that. It's just like, you guys couldn't be any more wrong. Like, you got to really understand it. And again, incels can take a liking to the type of music that they're making, and it can relate to them, but they're not like Drake literally told you years ago, I don't make music for niggas who don't get pussy. Future made a song, My Collection. Future is, he's called toxic, but he's really like a very hedonistic lover who just can't get right. Like he's so indulgent, but like, I don't know how you listen to the type of music he makes, his feelings towards women, what he says about women, and says that he's making stuff for incels. And I think that applied to the Division. Again, even if it was a big misstep with what they did, like using the term incel to describe the target audience. Like it's please look up words, like look up meanings, look up examples of sentences, talk to people, ask questions. Don't just throw these buzzwords around, because it's just very wrong. But all that to say, really love those singles. Really looking forward to a new Division album. Like, you know, we might be back. I proudly waved the flag for them being one of the best R&B acts of the late 2010s, which is a crazy qualifier. And it was a tough time. I mean, you know, Bryson Tiller rose up at that time. You had the Lucky Days. You had the Giveons, although he was 2020 and beyond. I'm missing someone. Lucky Day, Sir, obviously with that's just men. I mean, you go to women, you got Summer Walker, you got Snow Allegra, you got SZA, you got a lot there. But I thought Division's first 3 products were impeccable, and then I thought the collab tape with Ty Dolla $ign was also really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. You know, it's a new era for them, and yeah, so we shall see what comes of that. But yeah, that is all I got for new music. Scrolling through to see if I missed anything. Nope. There are some albums I haven't gotten to yet, so I will have late reviews of those projects. I want to check out the Joey Badass project. I was really excited about that, so I got to get to that. I know Chance the Rapper dropped. I got to get to that. JID dropped. I got to get to that. So you guys will get late reviews of those projects from me. But hey, I gotta say, man, this summer really delivering on the music front, like really delivering. I mean, July alone, we got Giveon, we got Clips, we got Justin Bieber, you know, obviously Offset, Mariah the Scientist, Sabrina Carpenter, Division. You know, like I said, there are products I haven't gotten to, but it's cool to see big names popping out, because it felt like they were hiding for some time. Now, all love to Jordan Rose. He put out a video saying this is the best rap summer in a while on Complex. Tough for me to agree, man. 2023 was just 2 years ago. We got Fuck You Mean from Gunna. We got Fiend. Like, is there great music out? Yes, but like, how impactful is it? Where are the hits? Like, you know, these last couple summers we've had hip hop songs that have been in the Song of the Summer conversation. And that brings me to, oh, man, got to do it. I got to do it. People are saying, let me drink some water before I do this, because I'm going to be yapping. I'm going to get a little annoyed. I hate what this music community has become. I really hate what this music community has become. People are saying we have no Song of the Summer in 2025. And first, every single year, this Song of the Summer conversation becomes so much more like, one, it's happening earlier and earlier and earlier. Two, it's becoming this like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's annoying, honestly. It's really annoying. Like, every week, every other day, like, oh, what's Song of the Summer? What's Song of the Summer? Go outside. If you go outside, you'll get options. Leon Thomas, Mutt, Wham Whammy, Chris Brown, Bryson Tiller, It Depends is like, I'm not saying it's a strong contender, but it's in the conversation. Kehlani Folded, R&B Song of the Summer. But I believe people are saying we have no Song of the Summer because they don't want to give credit to a specific person who has 2 contenders. If you've been outside from February till now, there is one song that you are guaranteed to hear at every function, and it gets the people going at every function, and the song uses the word function a lot. Like, come on, you can't deny Nokia. You cannot deny Nokia. You can try to. It seems like a lot of people want to, because you don't want to give Drake that credit because his perception. No, he's not a real artist. I will say there was a tweet that called him Supac. Supac was very funny. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed at that. Supac was fucking hilarious. But come on, bro. Like let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. Like you can disagree with what he's doing. You can dislike him. You can dislike the album or the music. But Song of the Summer isn't even necessarily about your personal interest. It's just about what do you hear the most? What gets the people going? What song is the soundtrack? Saying there's no Song of the Summer is like not giving out the Heisman Award one year because the candidates weren't up to par with another year. You don't do that. The Heisman goes out every year. There might be better years than others, but like the Heisman goes out every year. MVP trophies are given out every year. There's a champion every year. You can't just not do that. And I know like this isn't no structured infrastructure system type thing. Like, you know, there's no committee deciding the Song of the Summer. But come on, bro. Like stop the bullshit. What's Shannon Sharp say? He says, stop bull jiving. Stop bull jiving. Like, come on, man. Like, stop. You just because you don't want to, y'all want to take things away from him. You cannot deny Nokia, and you can't deny Somebody Loves Me, Drake and Party Next Door. And I'm specifically saying Party Next Door because a lot of people have reduced that song to a Drake song, but that's really a party song that Drake is a guest on. Granted, he's got memorable lines on there. He did his thing, but it's a Drake and Party Next Door song. Stop leaving Party Next Door out of the conversation. But Somebody Loves Me gets the people fucking going. Also, shout out to Drake and Party for putting out the 19 videos, the fan created videos on DrakeRelated.com from the giveaway. People were waiting on those. I watched a few; they were cool. I haven't watched all of them, but I thought the young budding directors did their thing. But yo, saying there's no Song of the Summer is bullshit. Is bullshit. Stop bullshitting. Like, y'all. I keep waiting to like wake up one day and like for the music community just be back to normal. And I know Drake has to take some accountability in that for doing what he's doing, even if I agree with what he's doing. But like, it has warped people's minds. It's warped their perceptions. It's warped how they assess things. We are in a really fucked up time right now. Shit is weird and people are weird. People read things and twist them to try to paint a narrative about things. It's like shit is just so simple to just take in and just like understand what it is, but y'all don't want to understand what it is, and that's fine. But I'm not allowing this there's no Song of the Summer conversation. I'm even okay if people want to put Wim Whammy or Mutt in front of those songs. But you're not going to say there's no Song of the Summer. That's not a thing. If you go outside, you hear the contenders. There are real Song of the Summer contenders. That shit's really whack to me. I think you should all be ashamed of yourselves for saying that. I do believe Nokia and Somebody Loves Me are two of the strongest contenders. You might disagree, but there's no Song of the Summer shit. It's so bullshit. Like, y'all spent months. Y'all been asking what the Song of the Summer is since like March, and then you're just gonna conclude that there's nothing? Weird. It's really weird. And it's not true. Like, podcasters, Twitter people, all that, like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, let's be serious. I'm really tired of I'm tired of y'all. I'm very tired of y'all. So that's our lunch break chat for the week. Like I said, breezy show. So my board meeting to you all is enjoy the rest of your summer. Make sure you stay hydrated. Go, set up doctor's appointments, go get checked, go to the dentist. Like I said, I've been in the gym. I'm preparing for that, for the winter hibernation stage, so I can pop out next summer and be, beautiful. And yeah, that's all I got. It's really crazy. August flew by. Like, these summers get faster and faster. And that's just what it is. But yeah, that's all I got. But be well. And yeah. So I am going to transition into the slide deck, which, as you know, is a Patreon exclusive segment. So if you're not subscribed to the Patreon and you want to hear some tunes and karaoke's back, patreon.com/StayBusyPod. So for those joining me, I'll see you there in a few. For those who are not joining me, I want to thank you for tapping into another episode of Stay Busy with Armon Sadler. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and all your audio platforms. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at StayBusyPod. Follow me at Armon Sadler. I'll be back with you all next week. So until then, for the free listeners, make sure you stay safe, stay humble, and stay busy. Patreon, join you in a few. Let's see what Frank Ocean got to say.